And as we mentioned, many counties in our area still have those burn bans despite the rain this past week. And crews in Madison County responded to several large fires over the weekend, with one that started Friday from people burning trash. That one spread to about 12 to 15 acres, forcing crews to spend hours battling it in that difficult terrain. Sunday saw Huntsville firefighters called to another large fire, that one at the Royal Oak charcoal plant. Huntsville Fire Chief Kevin Shen says despite recent rain, it is still not safe to burn.
When it rains, they think, okay, well, everything's good. But what happens is the moisture will seep into the ground and the ground covering is still dry. And so it doesn't take long, especially if the sun comes out. We're right back in the same conditions where everything is volatile. And if it catches fire, it's going to spread.
Chief Shin says anyone who is caught burning will be issued a citation. He encourages anyone to call the department if you see smoke. Well, new at noon, a former Northside High School head football coach is getting more than $500,000 in a lawsuit settlement. Coach Felix Curry filed the suit following his removal as head football coach and reassignment as a detention class monitor in 2024. Curry alleged the treatment and the district's decision not to renew his contract were the result of racial discrimination. Curry was the district's first African-American head coach. His attorney, Joey McCutcheon, says today the former coach and Fort Smith School District have reached a $525,000 settlement, ending the litigation. A Centerton man is facing charges after investigators say he broke into his ex-girlfriend's house through the doggy door and dragged her out of bed by her ankles. We have confirmed the man is 29-year-old Austin Howard, a former police officer with the Springdale Police Department. He was arrested by Fayetteville Police on Monday. Bond was set at $150,000. Well, new details in a Sulphur Springs murder. A second person has been arrested. We first told you about the arrest of Hunter Anderson, who was caught in McDonald County, Missouri earlier this month. Well, new court documents say 4 witnesses were interviewed and identified Anderson as the shooter who allegedly killed Triton King. Documents say Anderson told investigators he threw the gun used in the shooting into a pond. The documents name 19-year-old Morgan Young as one of the witnesses. She told investigators that she found several shell casings at the scene and threw them in a trash can. She was charged with hindering apprehension and is held in the Benton County Jail. Well, voters in Oklahoma are heading to the polls today for Election Day, deciding who will be the Republican candidate on the November ballot for the race for governor, as well as Secretary of Education. But aside from state races, school districts in LaFleur and Sequoia counties both have bond proposals on the ballot. The Sallisaw School District is hoping voters approve a $23.6 million bond proposal that to build a new performing arts center and a modern track and field complex. House school leaders are hoping a proposal passes to complete the second phase of the new high school there.
Be able to move our student body around, and then it'll create opportunity to spread out, reduce class size, allow for growth if that be the case. Where a class needs to be split, then we can actually move into new available rooms.
Polls will be open until 7 tonight. The Democratic Party of Benton County has chosen a nominee for the special election to fill the vacant House District 8 seat. Parker Stolten will face Republican Kara Armis in November. Stolten currently serves on a state committee for the county's Democratic Party. It's not clear if an independent candidate will also file for this race. Austin McCollum resigned from the House seat earlier this month after he was arrested accused of assaulting his wife. Whoever wins the special election will hold the seat until January. That's when Brian Armis is set to take over the role. President Trump's executive order placing new limits on mail-in ballots has survived the first legal challenge that made it to the Supreme Court. This order could have an impact on how states carry out midterm elections, which are already underway with the primaries. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
The U.S. Supreme Court has allowed, for now, the Trump administration to move forward with an executive order that would put new restrictions on mail-in ballots.
It's about voter integrity. We want to have honest voting in our country.
The order calls for the Department of Homeland Security to create lists of residents in each state who are eligible to vote and prohibit the U.S. Postal Service from sending ballots to anyone not on the list. A lower court blocked the president's executive action, but Monday, justices said the states had filed their lawsuit too soon since the changes had not yet been implemented. The The High Court did not rule on the merits of the case.
The Constitution says who gets to set the time, place, and manner of elections. It's the states.
CBS News legal analyst Jessica Levinson says the door is open for future challenges as the U.S. Postal Service unveils new requirements for mail-in ballots this week.
With the legal fight expected to continue, it's unclear what this will ultimately mean for the upcoming midterms, now just 70 days away.
Today, voting is underway in South Carolina's GOP primary runoff for the late Senator Lindsey Graham seat.
Thank you, Mr. President.
President Trump has thrown his support behind Darlene Graham, Lindsey's sister, who was appointed interim senator.
Thank you for your endorsement. It has meant the world to me.
She's running against five-term Congressman Ralph Norman.
It's not training on the job. You have to know it. You have to be in it.
The winner will face the Democratic nominee, Dr. Annie Andrews, in November. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Well, the Lake Sequoia Bridge in Fayetteville is going to be closed for a few months, starting on September 1st. Crews will be replacing sections of that bridge deck and the bridge joints that have deteriorated over time. This is a heavily traveled road, and when it comes to emergency response during the closure, the Round Mountain Volunteer Fire Department says their first responders are ready. The chief says they have a new station on Wyman Road, and they have automatic aid agreements with Fayetteville, Elkins, and Goshen.
Just be assured that we'll still be here. Our response times will not change hardly at all. If we are short on manpower, we have auto aid partners that are right there waiting to come and help us.
The city says Fayetteville Public Schools and the emergency response teams have established alternate routes during that closure. Well, the Washington County Fair returns today through Saturday. It is Arkansas's oldest and largest county fair. 5 News reporter Claire Everbach spent the morning on the fairgrounds.
From the animals to the food and the games, the Washington County Fair is a long-standing tradition in Arkansas, this year marking the 169th anniversary. With the carnival, food, livestock, and horticulture, there's something for everyone to enjoy. For more than a century and a half, generations of farmers, business leaders, volunteers, and youth have helped shape the fair. While the fair brings back plenty of familiar activities and traditions each year, fair leaders say it's the people who make the event what it is. This year, they're seeing plenty of young people get involved, which for them is the most rewarding part.
To see the smiles on their faces, is the best part of it. For me, we've got a lot of little kids showing this year, so that next generation's coming on, and that makes me feel real good.
My own children showed at this county fair. They have now graduated and moved on. And so I have a connection of all those memories, and I like to see those memories continue for other families and other members of our community.
One of those people is Joshua Bailey, an Elkins High School senior who's been participating in livestock shows since he was 8 years old.
This community has been so supportive as I've gotten to grow all the way from the age of 8 to where I am now at 17. Getting to come here and exhibit cattle, not only exhibit cattle, but to go have fun with community, go have fun with friends, it just quite literally means everything.
The fair opened at 10 a.m. and will run all the way through Saturday. In Washington County, covering news where you live, Claire Everbach, 5 News.
Thank you, Claire. Well, a popular Fayetteville coffee shop now has a new brick and mortar location. Dodo Coffee's new location opens this weekend. This business is run by Seattle Seahawks wide receiver Cooper Kupp and his brother-in-law Isaiah Ojeda. The school had to leave its original location on MLK because of that road expansion project last year. This new permanent shop is located off McMillan Drive. Dodo says it will hold its grand opening Saturday at 7 a.m.